First of all, real quick, if you think that you can't make thousands of dollars on KDP because you have a limiting belief, this is you and you've been doing KDP for maybe 1 to 2 years, and then all you've done is maybe made $500. So if in 1 to 2 years, your brain has only experienced this amount of money, when I tell you that you can make $10,000, your brain is like, no, that's impossible because I haven't done it. Well, just because you didn't do it doesn't mean it's impossible. I can name a ton of people that have done it. Now, I've done this too, and I'm literally not special. You're probably a lot smarter than me. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So here's the thing. How do you make a book that can make you $10,000 a month? Well, you're probably not going to make one book that's going to make you 10,000, but if you can make one book that's going to make you 1,000, then you can build a brand off that. And then that brand can get you to 10,000. But you have to have a really, really, really high quality book. And how do you do that? Well, here's what most people do. Most people are going to go do the research. You did your niche research. You found a good niche, well done. Then you're going to go and validate that niche. Is this niche going to make me money? So you validate that niche and you're like, wow, okay, it is going to make me money. So what's the next step that you take? You're like, well, I found the niche. I found that it's going to make me money. Let me just make the book. So you go out and make the book and then you publish it. Now, what happens when you publish the book? Well, the first few months, you might actually get a few sales, but over time, you're just constantly losing sales. You're spending money on ads. You're not becoming profitable at all, and your book is just failing overall. So what do? You go back to your niche research. You find another niche, and then you validate that niche, and then what do? You publish another book. But guess what? When you publish this book, the same thing happens. That book fails, you lose money, you spend a bunch of money on ads, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to give this one more opportunity. So you go back to the niche research, you go back to validating that niche, you go back to making the new book, and it fails again until eventually you give up on KDP. The worst part is you come on YouTube and see a guy like me say, no, you can make 10,000. You're like, no, this guy is lying because I didn't do it. Well, what if you did it wrong? Maybe that's the thought you should have. So here's the thing. You went and did your niche research. I showed you how to do that so you can do this correctly. Well done. And then I showed you how to validate your niche as well, so you can do this correctly. But here's where most people get it wrong. Most people go from validating the niche to making the book. Now, why is this wrong? Well, after you validate a niche, you can't just go and make a book because you're not sure what book you're going to make. The reality is that there's a secret step right here. Right here, there's an extra step that you need to take that almost no one is taking. Do you know why? Because it's boring. Because it's a boring step, but this boring step is the one that's going to make you successful. If you understand how to do this, you will make way more money on KDP. Way more money. It's insane. What is this secret step? Well, this is doing the correct market research. Now, what do I mean by market research? Well, here's the thing. I have a 2-step formula for doing market research. Step number 1, you need to find out, let's say we're publishing a how to draw book. We're going to stick to the same niche that we found last time. How to draw people book for kids. So if I publish a book, how am I going to make money from that niche? Well, let's say we have 5 main competitors. These are 5 how to draw people book for kids. They're all selling very well. This is all the money between them. They've got a bunch of money between them going around. People are just constantly buying these books. Well, if I want to come in and publish a new book, what do I have to do in order to get some of the chunk of money that they have? Well, my book needs to be equally as good or better than them. If it's equally as good, I'll get a little bit of money. If it's better, then I'm probably going to destroy some of these other books and get even more money from the niche because my book is obviously better. Now, how do you make your book obviously better? Well, here's step 1. So step 1 is looking at all the books that are selling, looking at the reviews and trying to extract as much information from the reviews as possible. What information do you need? Well, you need the good and the bad. If you can figure out what's good about the books that are already out there in that niche making the sales, and then you figure out what's bad about the books, then when you go and make your book, you can keep the good and put that in your book, and you can take the bad and throw it away. Even better, you can take the bad, turn it into good, and put it in your book. What do I mean by this? Well, if I go here and I type in how to draw people book for kids, this one, as you can see, 12,000 BSR. You want the BSR to be under 100,000. That means it's selling. 12,000 BSR means it's selling 10 copies a day. There we go. Here it says 356 copies every 30 days. And it has 4,000 reviews. So this has enough data to tell us what the customers like and what the customers don't like. So if I go on the 1-star reviews, you can see very disappointing, no instructions, only cartoon drawings. Even though this book is selling hundreds of copies a month and it's got thousands of reviews, this person is saying that there's no instructions or there's very minimal instructions. So we can take that, and when we make our how to draw book, we want detailed but clear instructions. This one here says 2 simple, not many images. So our one, we're gonna have loads of images. Oh wow, this book does look terrible. There's literally 0 instructions. After you go through the top 5 or 10 books, you go through their reviews and see what's bad and see what's good. You're gonna have a list of all the good things that you want to include in your book and all the bad things that you don't want to include, or make them good and include them in your book. Why is this important? Because the most important part is to understand your customer. The only reason you're making a book is not so you can make money. No one cares about how much money you're going to make. Your customers only care about how good the book you're providing is. So the only way you're going to make a bunch of money is if you give them a book that's valuable to them. If you give someone what they want, they will give you what you want, which is money. Most people just seem to make a really, really bad book, put it on the market, and then just expect money to fall into their laps. That's not how it works. If you give something valuable, you get something valuable. Now, after you make this list, you're going to know exactly what your customer wants. And then you're going to give them a book which is literally perfect for them. It's everything they could ask for because they have already asked for it in the reviews. Great, so now step 1 is out of the way. Step 1 is the boring step. So let's go to step 2. This is where it gets really, really interesting. I like to think of publishing a new book as if I'm going to war. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, let's say there's 5 books in the niche. These are your 5 competitors. This guy's the main guy. Then he has 2 other guys. And then there's maybe 3 other books. So we have 6 best-selling books. This one sells 300 copies a month. This one sells 100. This one sells 100. And then these ones sell 25 each. So this guy is the main guy. These are the second and third best-selling ones. And these are just the ones that are just making some sales here and there. So these are the people that you're up against. But guess what? You're only 1 book. How is 1 book going to go against 6 books? The only way you can do that is by having a USP. Now, what's a USP? USP is a unique selling point. This means this is something that your book has that no other book in the niche has. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So here's the thing. If you're going to go to war, you probably need something to attack. You need a sword or something. This is a sword. I'm going to draw a sword. Drawing skills on point. Look at that. You need something to attack. So you have a sword. What else do you need? You need something to defend, something to help you defend. So you're going to use a shield. That's supposed to be a shield. And then what else are you going to need? You're going to need stamina. War doesn't happen in a day. It lasts for ages. KDP war especially is a very long-term game. So you're going to need stamina. What gives you stamina? I don't know. Water. This is a bottle of water. Brilliant. But anyway, you need your USP. So these 3 guys here, they're actually weak. So if you can attack them, you can destroy them. They're super, super weak. The only way to attack them by having a USP that's better than theirs. These probably don't even have a USP. So what's the USP? For example, if we have a how to draw book, one of the USPs can be that our book has a time frame in which it will teach you how to draw. So for example, we can say how to draw in 30 days, or we could say how to draw in 5 minutes. By having that, we're having something different than all the other books. So if every other book in the niche is how to draw people for kids, and our one is how to draw people for kids in 5 minutes or less, we have that extra advantage. We have a unique selling point. We can teach you how to draw in 5 minutes. All the other boring books are teaching you how to draw in 15, 20 minutes. It's going to take you way longer. So let's say we have a time frame and we make a book, how to draw people book for kids. We're going to teach you how to draw in 30 days or less. Then great, we just attacked these guys and destroy them. So now you're making like 50 sales a month or 60 sales a month because you have that unique selling point. But here's the thing, this one unique selling point might not be enough to destroy these guys because these guys have authority. So what else can we do? Well, let's give them a second USP, a second unique selling point. What other unique selling point can we have? Everyone's teaching you how to draw people, but what if we did how to draw people in different jobs? We're going to have a book about how to draw people with their uniform on. So maybe we're teaching them how to draw a plumber, how to draw a police officer, a firefighter, an astronaut, how to draw an actor, how to draw a rapper, how to draw a singer, how to draw just a bunch of people, a bunch of different jobs, whatever you can think of. So we're not going to just teach people how to draw people. We're going to teach them how to draw people in different jobs in 30 days or less, in 5 minutes or less. That's even better. Now we have 2 USPs, and let me show you why this works so effectively. We searched how to draw people book for kids, and here's what came up. Anyone can draw people. That's it. How to draw people. Even though on the cover it shows a bunch of different people, it shows a chef and a king and a bodybuilder and a tennis player, nothing is in the title. It doesn't say anything in the title, and it has 25 reviews and it's not selling. Of course it's not selling. It's not specifying a USP. Look at this one. How to draw people step-by-step drawings. No USP. It's just a boring how to draw people. Now this has authority because it's super cheap, has thousands of reviews, so it's selling. How to draw people for kids. How to draw people for kids step-by-step guide. No USP. Is it selling? Of course it's not selling. 7 reviews. But look at this one. If I go here, look at this book, How to Draw People. Learn to draw 50 people from astronaut, firefighters to superheroes. So does this book have a USP? Yeah, it has a USP. It shows you this is different from all the other boring how to draw people book. Now look at this. It only has 17 reviews. Is it selling? It's on 57,000. It's selling 3 to 4 copies a day. I would say around 3 copies a day. So the USP works even if you have low reviews. So we have 2 USPs. So we know from that USP, even if we have low reviews, we can destroy these guys as well. Because these guys are strong. We just used our shield. We used the attack for these guys and we used our shield for these guys because these guys were strong. We were able to deflect it with our USP. Brilliant metaphors, I know. Now it's time for the big boss. What do we do for the big boss? Luckily, we brought our water with us, so we have stamina. So even though we destroyed these guys, we still have enough stamina to beat this guy. But the only way we can beat the big boss is by having this final USP, and that's value. So how do you give value? How do you add value to your book? How do you make your book more valuable than the big boss, than the biggest book on the market? Well, for this niche, it's actually very simple. Look at this book. How to Draw People. Learn to draw 50 people from astronauts, firefighters, blah, blah, blah. If we were to compete just with this one, how can we make our book seem more valuable than this one? Even if we take the same book, have the same things in it, what's one change we can make to make our book seem more valuable? Well, look at this. Learn to draw 50 people. Learn to draw 50 people. So if they're teaching how to draw 50 people, would our book look more valuable if we teach how to draw 100 people or how to draw 101 people? Because a lot of people like the number 101, I don't know why, but would it seem more valuable? Of course it would. So if we have a book that says, I'm going to teach you how to draw people in 5 minutes or less, so there's our time frame, and we can say people from all different jobs, 100 people, then we have 3 unique USPs. So when people go and search how to draw people, they're going to compare all the books in the niche and they're going to say, wow, this new book not only promises to teach you in 5 minutes or less, it teaches you even more people than all the other books out there. And it's also going to teach you how to draw people from all different types of jobs. While these boring guys have almost 0 USPs. Now, are you going to destroy this big guy? Maybe not just with the USPs, but the USPs are going to get you very close. If you can build up your reviews, you will destroy this guy. 300 copies a month times €2, which is if you publish in a low content niche, is 600. But if you do this with a high content book, then 300 copies times 5, which is the minimum you should make profit per book in a high content niche, $1,500 a month. Now, this is probably not going to be all profit. You're probably going to have to spend some on ads, but if you do your ads correctly, then you can be profitable within 2 to 3 months easily. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this only works with how to draw books. Well, let's say you publish a cookbook. What are the USPs for a cookbook? Same thing. If everyone's publishing a vegetarian cookbook, then you're going to publish a vegetarian cookbook for beginners with 5 ingredients or less. If you have 5 ingredients or less, then there's your USP. Or you can have recipes 5 minutes or less, 10 minutes or less. There's your USP. If everyone has vegetarian cookbooks with 50 recipes, you can have 100 recipes. You can have 150 recipes, 200 recipes, whatever you want. If everyone's just doing normal vegetarian books, you can do high protein vegetarian books. You can have a high protein vegetarian cookbook for beginners with 5 ingredients or less. And then automatically you're making your book stand out. Even if your book is exactly the same as everyone else's, if you have a USP in your title, then you will automatically make more sales. You're going to attract more people. But obviously the interior of your book, the inside of your book needs to represent what the title talks about. So if you're going to say, I'm going to teach you in 5 ingredients or less, the recipes need to contain 5 ingredients or less. You're not going to give them 10 ingredient recipes when you promise them 5. Now here's the thing, it's very easy when I explain it, but I know you'll probably go out there and you try and do it and then you get all confused, because that's how I was as well. Now it's not enough just to have USPs. USPs will get you so far, but you need a super good cover. If you have a really good cover, you can basically make money, even if you get everything else wrong. If you have a quality book, after doing the research that I showed you today, you have the correct USPs and you have an amazing cover, you will make a lot of money. But how do you make an amazing cover? What makes an amazing cover? Well, this video is already getting too long, so I can't show you in this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below if you want to see how I make covers that are going to sell thousands of books. Literally thousands. If you don't believe that you can sell thousands of books, and if you don't believe that you can make thousands of dollars with KDP, then that's not my problem, it's your problem. You have a limiting belief. I had that limiting belief as well. Go fix that limiting belief, break it, then come back and start watching my videos, because you're not going to make thousands on KDP until you believe that you can make thousands on KDP. So with that being said, good luck.